When you go to Mi Cocinita, you'll see a bright red food truck,
My favorite color is red. So off the back, I was like, this is my food truck.
a couple of kids,
They are my catering crew. Like, we are the catering crew.
and Yvette Hernandez's late brother Gilbert in the window.
I was in the streets. I was on drugs. I was in the streets. I was selling drugs. I was doing a lot of things I wasn't supposed to. And my brother was really big on, like, get your stuff together for my nieces and my nephews. Like, get your life together. Like, they need a good, a good mom. Their dad was never there, and he would always just push. So my brother was like my brother, my supporter, my dad, my kid's dad. Like, he was everything to us.
Gilbert died in 2015, but even though he was no longer with her, that tough love remained.
A couple months after my brother passed away, I tried committing suicide, and I felt like my brother saved my life. Like, I almost felt like I felt my brother's fingers in the back of my throat pushing out the pills. And I remember the next day I woke up and I just thought, you know what, God, like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I have so much more.
After her survived suicide attempt, Yvette battled an all-consuming meth addiction.
My ex-husband went to prison, and I was gonna be a single mom for the first time ever. And I was like, man, so then that's when I got addicted to meth. So it was just like a roller coaster of downhills. My kids were home hours by themselves alone. There was times I'd come home and my mom would be in the driveway mad, like, where were you at? And I'm like, I'm getting high and I don't care.
But with her brother and God looking down on her, her life started to change.
God always turns ashes into something beautiful. And I'm proof of it because, I was ashes constantly, and God turned that into something beautiful. There's constantly, I'm like, all right, brother, talk to God for me because this is getting kind of hard, or we need some help, or, I need more ideas. But yeah, so he plays a huge part in it. God, if it wasn't for God, we wouldn't be here.
Now, through her food truck, she's able to provide a better life for herself and her 7 kids.
So my oldest kids especially, have seen me to where I was like selling drugs with them in the car and taking them and punishing them because they wouldn't sit still. And then now the little ones get to run free because they don't have to deal with that. So my kids are just like, Mom, this isn't fair. And I said, baby, it's not fair. But I'm glad I'm glad how I am now. I'm glad that my babies now don't have to deal with what I have to deal with. I'm glad that I've changed to where now if we do got it, come on, let's go work at the food truck. We're not gonna go drive around and sell drugs no more. Let's work at the food truck.
And yes, her brother always knew she could do it.
Losing my brother was like one of the best things that could have happened to me. Because I feel like if I wouldn't have lost my brother, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't have pushed myself to keep going for his nieces and nephews. I would have given up, and I could have honestly just went back to the streets. Like, he would have expected me to, But my thing was like, no, I got to make my brother proud. Like, this is what would make my brother proud.